introduce me first, yeah?
Hi, Junia. Good evening.
A very good evening
My
to
dear
you,
friend,
Naheed.
yes, I love your energy. And you are one of the moms who personally inspire me. And this is a time, a very right time to thank you that I had been a part of your mom mompreneurship firm, like your the concern which you will be giving a little like brief to all of us. So that group is really very vibrant because you are taking on topics, picking things which actually we deal in life. So thank you so much that I'm a part of it. And I would be also sharing your group link for the audience who is joining here to join your group. You are from Singapore, and right now it's night 11. So I'm really thankful to you that you are here with us with a purpose. And another acknowledgement for you is that you gave me an opportunity to be a speaker in Global Mothers Symposium. So this made me have a wider connect and a powerful connect with like-minded women. So my all thanks to you. My all thanks to you. Before I come to the topic, this is what I want to show to everyone. Dear God, thank you for everything. This is what I keep like this in front of me. And this is what is helping all of us be together. So, Junia, this is a 15-minute session and we can extend a little more if required. So, what are the three secrets which we are dealing of gadget addiction, which is the number one addiction for humans right now, including all sizes, small, medium, large, extra large, all sizes of humans. And here we are talking about the teenagers and the young children. How do we deal with it? So the secret treasure box, let it be out and let us listen to you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you so much, Naheed. It is an honor, a privilege to be able to speak on this, yeah? So for those of you who don't know, my name is Junia Tan from Singapore. I'm the delightful mom to 5 amazing kids. I'm an author, an entrepreneur, a host. So to answer your question directly, I think we're living in this digital age. And do you know, Naheed, what's the number one reason for all addictions? And you want to
It is
venture again?
because, yes, good question. And it is like we get a lot of happiness there. We feel loved, we feel recognized. So it's like making us satisfy our basic needs or emotional needs, which is why we are on like
Addiction.
the gadgets.
Everything, yeah?
Yes. And then it has become gradually addictive. Like we are present that it is addictive, but we are still into it.
Yeah, so what you're saying is what started as harmless, we became more and more attached to it. And after a while, the cord is so strong that we cannot break free from it. Am I right? So, what I want to say is, do you know the number one cause for all addictions in the world, whether it's drugs, whether it's sex, whether it's digital devices, or smoking, or alcohol? It's really the lack of connection. So what you're saying is correct. So you see, what started as maybe I'm just puffing, right? Just a social smoker. But what makes it an addiction for me is because I'm no more socially connected to my peers. And why this is so important, right? Is because we are all social beings. And the faster we understand this, because a lot of parents, whenever our kids are, inverted commas, addicted to gaming, we actually push them more by saying, it's bad, it's wrong, look at your grades are going down. And the more we do that, the more we are pushing them away from us and towards the addiction. So instead, what we could do in remembering that the number one social need of all human beings is to be loved and accepted as I am, is really to embrace them, to ask them, hey, what is this game that has got you so raptured? Can you share with me more? Sit down with no agenda except to get into their world. Because often if this is my world and that is their world, we are pushing what we want and we don't really care about their world. We just want them to do what we want. So you can imagine right now, if your boss constantly force you and force you and force you, after a while your boss come, you run away lah. You won't even stay where you are because you are just all your defenses are up. But as parents, if we turn it the other way and we allow ourselves to get into their world by number one, asking, by realizing that our own methods push them away, we will actually open up a very safe space for them to come to us. And when kids come and share more, when they know that what we have to share is important to them, not just for the sake of, that connection forms. And once there's that connection, then everything flows out of that. That's a
Yeah,
simple tip.
very, 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 very powerful. And here, the important point which you have stressed, which can be easily brought into our life, is like talking things which are like important to both of us. Like not only talking about the studies or our agenda as parents, but asking the child like what how the child is feeling, what the world is, what the child is getting when the child is gaming or when the child is in social media and all. I think participating also with the child in gaming, and that will have the connect rather than hating the game and all the time like vocally so loud or with a with a behavior that the child is not able to listen to. So what else, like as simple tip, tools, techniques can I do as a mother, or can all parents of smart natives and other parents globally who will be hearing you get out of the conversation? What do we do?
Okay, very good. So I would want to divide screen time into 3 segments, right? So very often we think screen time is bad, right? We see them on your phone, we see them on the computer or iPad, and immediately we have judged it. So three areas. So the first one is what I call passive. So when they are passively on screen time, that is where we need to be careful, because then there are no filters that are up. They are just either absorbing what they are watching without thinking for themselves, which is not very good, because then the influences or the uncensored information they may not be able to process, especially when it's about sex or it's about religion or politics. They may not be able to process. The second one is what I call social. Social is fine. So like my daughter, they connect with their friends, and this is the reality. If like during my time, I used to write pen pal, right? I used to call on the phone, but now for them it's texting, right? So but for that I put a limit. Or social can also be, we are watching a TV together and we are discussing our opinions about it. So from changing it from something that's passive into something that's social is where we can sit down and discuss, what's your opinion, what do you think, instead of just
Yeah.
watching a show, right? And then that engages their mind. They are no longer passive. But because I've trained my kids, no matter what show they watch, they know we will have to discuss the show. I will always ask them, so what did you learn out of it? So when it first started, it would be very superficial. Good always triumphs over evil. But slowly, as they begin to have this conversation every single time they watch a show, they go deeper, right? Like, I'm going through a period where, this, and I don't like this guy. And their thought processes develops. And the third one is what I call creative screen time. So creative is where they are actively searching the internet for solutions, or they are coding, or they are creating some value out of it, whether it's YouTube, because we may not have grown up. We may be migrants in this digital era, but our kids are native,
Yes.
and to tell them get off it, it's absurd. It's really quite absurd. So I hope these 3 distinctions, as we understand, spending time on creating and social, it's amazing, right? And even then, you would have to put limits for the eyes, and just to really socially connect. But if it's a lot of the first one, then you would have to begin to migrate that to, why don't we look for things together on the internet? So whatever information they source, we can actually process with them. So I don't know if that's useful, but that's how I use what I do for screen time with the kids.
Okay. Any others like opening you can give us, or particular activity wherein we can be with the child on the internet, which will cause a connect? Because at present everybody is differently on their different gadgets and at different spaces, so we are not there together as such, like having any creation out
Okay.
of
So
the.
I am quite extreme, but parents, I will tell you, if you haven't introduced a personal gadget to your child, don't. Okay, so I've got 5 kids. Only the 15-year-old one has her own handphone. The 9-year-old, the 11-year-old one, all the way down, they don't. And it's not because we don't have the money. It's because I've chosen to create a safe space of non-digital devices. where because they don't have it, they are forced to spend a lot more time make believing, imagination, creatively, just playing. So, for Mother's Day, they were like, "Mom, we set up a carnival just for you. There was musical chairs, there was toss the hoop, there was, they were really engaged." And in our small house, you know how small the houses are in Singapore. So I think just not, if you haven't introduced it to them, please don't. For me, why I don't is because I want to create a safe space so that I can have as much connection and conversations with them, conversations about about values, conversations about what the world tells you may not necessarily all be correct. And the more time I have to anchor them in these values, the less concerned I am about whatever the world or however the world will influence them. Because Naheed, in yours and my time, I think we didn't even have the internet until like 15 years old. So we were growing up slowly. We listen, we think. Now everything is boom, boom, boom. It's a bit too fast. So I would say, if not yet, just shelve it out. If you've already given your kids, particular devices, have a common place. So at home, it's a particular location where we charge everything. So all the phones are there all the time. Meal times, no screen. So we do have fixed no screen times at home. So that's how we limit. And then I think you asked for one thing, how we spend time together. So we watch a movie. So this is like every night we watch one show. It's 45 minutes. And when we sit down, I watch it with them and we talk about it. So that's something that
it is the show. Sorry, I'm interrupting, Junia. Junia, the show is of your choice, or the kids suggest the show?
The kids. So once a week we do have a movie night. That one I get to choose because the kids and parents, I want you to know, right? Kids want us so much, and that's what we don't understand. So for example, I don't normally watch TV with them, but when I say, okay, let's movie night, they will say, okay, let mommy choose, or let mommy and daddy choose, because they want us to sit and watch with them. So they don't mind. And then that's where, so as we sit and we watch, we talk about it, but that's once a week. But normally on a daily basis, so one structure that I have, if it helps, is I have this thing where kids have to earn the privilege, and the privilege is screen time. So my kids, number one, they have to ask me whenever they watch any iPad or screen time. Number two, they know that they will have to finish their work before they ask me, because so to me in the families, that is a privilege. Screen time is a privilege. It's not an entitlement. The other one is responsibility. So if you show me that you're responsible, you get this. But if you show me you're not responsible, then I'm sorry, your privilege drops likewise. So it's a very powerful technique, because the kids get who is the one that controls their screen time. Not mommy anymore, because we have an agreement, right? It's you. If you want more screen time, then do more work. Then help around at home. Then be kinder to your siblings, right? Because the more responsible you are, the more you have earned that privilege to be unlocked for you. And kids learn that very, very quickly.
Yeah, so this is a very powerful say of the entitlement and the privilege which you spoke. So I will speak in Hindi so that this stays, and I will be also translating it. कि ये बच्चे का अधिकार नहीं है कि वो पूरे समय मोबाइल यूज करेगा. उसका एक प्रिविलेज है जो वो अर्न करता है अपने बिहेवियर से, अपने टास्क फिनिश करके पेरेंट्स की रजामंदी के साथ. So it is with the parent consensus that the child is having this privilege for a limited time. And now my next question to you very fast is that are there any tools to regulate the sites, the sites which my child should not visit as per my age? Should that all apps and tools be used as a parent? Is it a good idea?
So for me, I am modern Asian mother, very controversial. I will share, for me, it's no. Okay, and I will share this very humbly, because when I was when my child was 3 years old, I remember one day I was just walking and I saw her looking at Disney princess Ariel and Jasmine in the pond kissing. And when I saw that, I was shocked, because I thought Disney princess is supposed to be wholesome cartoon. And in that moment, that was 12 years ago, Naheed, I realized that imposing restrictions would only last for a while. The truth is, our kids are intelligent. that will not
Yes.
stop them. What takes longer
Yes.
time but is more permanent is educating their heart, their values. And that's why I believe
Educating.
in having anchors for them, having conversations with them, so that come whatever the world will tell you, whatever your friends will tell you, you are ready for it. So one of the other things that I do with my kids, okay, is I have what I call difficult conversation. So we talk about sex, we talk about same gender, right? We talk about what you call it, gender, same gender. We talk about what I
Yeah.
call the difficult topics. You see, I don't know for you in India, but in Asia, a lot of parents don't want to talk about things like that. And if we don't talk about it,
Yes.
guess where the kids are
Yes.
getting their information? They will be
Yes.
getting it from their friends and from other sources. And I would rather, as a parent, that I influence them. So, as uncomfortable as it was when I first started, I say, "Come, girls, ask mommy anything about sex." They stare at me. And but now, right, it's so common, right, that they know that mommy doesn't react. Ayo, don't ask lah, don't talk. No, I'm not like that. And as I create a safe space by my openness to discuss, to empower, to educate, to influence them, they know, hey, there's no topic that mom won't talk
Yeah.
about. And then they come to
Yeah.
me. So I earn the right to speak into their lives. Yeah. So I think that's by
Yes.
far a more powerful method. I mean, honestly, the apps, they will break through the locks and all. So why? And that, I'm sorry, but to me, right, I take that as a sign of mistrust. Means they don't trust, right? If my kid has to hide from me, it or lie to me, it means that I didn't build the connection. I didn't create a space enough for them to feel safe. And that's why they're doing things behind
Yes.
my back. So I would say
Yeah.
restore the relationship, because those are symptoms
Yeah. Yeah.
that the relationship is not as tight as it can be. And trust me, your kids want you. They want advice. They are looking, whom can I trust? Really. So play that
Whom
role,
can I
parents.
share with? Whom share with? See, in Hindi, these few, just in a nutshell, in one or two lines, यहाँ हम इंडिया में बात नहीं करते about sex, even money talks, and even many taboos are there जो हम which we think कि बच्चे से बात नहीं करनी है. But what you said, the openness, that the child, बच्चे को ये लग रहा है कि मैं कुछ भी बात कर सकता हूँ, पेरेंट से, मम्मी से, किसी भी टॉपिक पे बात कर सकता हूँ. I can talk on any topic. So this is something very powerfully. Yes, India, and as in there is a difference geographically, but last, because it is 17 minutes, how do you manage with 5 children, with one child, two child, because you are so active with your like the mothers, the what all do you do?
Mom
This
space.
also I
So
would
yes.
like you to. Yeah,
So I
mom
do
space
mom
is there.
space, which is a social enterprise, and my heart is to support moms. So what I do is I really teach my kids how to be independent at a very young age. So in Singapore now, we are potentially going into our second lockdown. What we do is home-based learning, and I don't take responsibility for their learning. So this is a very big topic, but simply put, I talk about boundaries. I have a physical boundary, a time boundary, what else? I got 4 boundaries. I can't quite remember now. But I communicate to them like, this is the time that mommy is going to be working, and you too. And later we'll connect over lunch, and later we'll connect over dinner. So when kids know when mommy is going to be accessible, they leave me largely to their own, and then we reconnect again. So do the physical boundaries, like when I'm here, I don't want to be disturbed. The time, sometimes we don't tell them, so it goes on and on and on, and they interrupt us because they want our attention. That's all. They just want to be there. So for me, it's really communication. Yeah.
Yes, very powerful. And just 30 seconds, acknowledging your husband. Like, what is his role? How does he help you in parenting?
So
Like being a parent at Singapore together as a nuclear family. Here in
we
India, we have in-laws.
we are so different. Like me and my husband, we have different points of view about the food. He buys snacks, I say don't. He is, but I think that the beautiful thing is we are both growing. So parents out there, wherever you
Yes.
are, always remember, like for me, I've told my kids a long time ago, mommy will never be perfect, so I won't even try, right? But I am work in
Right.
progress, and until the
Beautiful.
day I die, let's continue to be on this path together. So let's work it out. So even in my relationship with my husband, we will make mistakes. It's a given. So when we have already said that, we learn from our mistakes. So we are no longer avoiding failure, but we use failure as a stepping stone. I mean, you didn't fail today. Oh, that's so sad. It means you didn't get out of your comfort zone. So we have transformed the entire conversation about failure. We've transformed the entire conversation about needing to show that perfect face. We are not, and let's just live our lives such that we are contributions to our society. So that's where I come from. Yeah. So work in progress.
Yes, this is amazing what you shared, and I got a lot out of it. I would be also translating it, and this would be going to so many parents. And thank you so much. You are already having some program which is going. So really, my heartfelt gratitude to you, my dear friend. I love you so much. You are one who really inspire, and now you will be inspiring so many. And I would love people connect with your Mont space. I will be giving the link also to them. And next, my also a promise that I'll be very active in your sessions. I will try my best. This is also one which is coming from within. So thank you so much, dear, for being
Thank
here,
you, Naheed.
giving us so much. Thank you. God bless you, and God
It's
bless
a
all
joy.
parents.